All right. If we can have everyone's attention, please. We need those members of the wedding party that are going to be part of the grand entrance out in the foyer area, please. Once again, if you're part of the wedding party that's going to be part of the grand entrance, we need you in the foyer area, please. Thank you. As we begin, we'd like to recognize the grandmothers who couldn't be here today. Once again, if you could put your hands together real quickly for Mrs. Purificacion Bova de la Rios and Mrs. Potencia Directo, who's in the Philippines. Once again, we'd like to recognize them, but they couldn't be here today. And now, we'd like to introduce the readers, starting off with Wilma Espiritu, escorted by George Holmes. Moving on, we have Mrs. Safrania Bernardino, escorted by Mr. Antonio Bernardino. Next up, we have Mrs. Teresita Hernandez, escorted by Mr. Victoriano Rios. Next up, we have Miss Joyce Balon and Miss Ruby Rios, escorted by Mr. Albert Porteria. Presenting to you, Mrs. Erlinda Directo Gutierrez, escorted by Mr. Ernesto Salcedo Gutierrez. And now we'd like to introduce to you the bride's parents, Mrs. Estrelita Rios Porteria, escorted by Mr. Lamberto Colocado Porteria. Ready? Is everybody ready to see the bride and groom? Oh, come on now. I can't hear you. Is everybody ready to see the bride and groom? All right, put your hands together for our newlyweds. Here they are, the bride and groom, presenting to you Mr. and Mrs. Joel and Jessica Gutierrez. That's right, give it up for the newlyweds!
Everybody.
That's right, don't stop, keep the clapping going! It's the bride and groom's day! We'd like to ask for our bride and groom to remain on the center of the dance floor. They're going to share their first dance as a married couple. And the special song chosen for them is Spend My Life by Eric Benet. And I know all of you are pretty hungry, it's been a long day, but before we start the dinner portion of our event, we'd like to call out to the center of the dance floor, Mr. Ernesto Gutierrez, that's the groom's dad, to do today's invocation, our special blessing before dinner.
Let us pray.
Okay, the banquet staff will be coming around to begin serving dinner, so once again, we're asking you to please be seated, please be patient. For our dinner portion, we're actually going to have our special band, the Originals, playing. All right. Once again, that was the Originals. Once again, my name is Phillip Andrada. The band will be coming back in a little bit. So once again, we'll be moving on with the rest of our program, hopefully in the next few minutes. Once again, if you're still eating, we're asking you to please be seated, please be patient, thank you. All right, we know some of you are still eating, most of you are done eating, but right now we'd like to take the time to recognize those guests who came all the way from out of town. And if you hear the area that you're from, we're asking you to please give yourselves a big round of applause. And right now we'd like to recognize those people who came all the way out from Toronto, Canada. Last but not least, those that came out from California, specifically San Jose, we'd like to recognize Miss Renee Rios, Miss Ruby Rios, Mr. Carlos Hernandez, Mr. Reynaldo Rios, Mr. Victoriano Rios, Mrs. Purificacion Rios, and Mrs. Tessie Hernandez. Once again, thank you, all of you that came from out of town, for sharing the special day with our bride and groom.